Nepal recorded the highest single-day spike of coronavirus cases post-lockdown yesterday with 418 cases reported. The government has been mulling over reimposing a lockdown. However, a decision is certain to be tricky as there are economic aspects attached with it. At this point, there is a call on all members of public to adopt maximum preventive measures to control the risk of the virus spread. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. The number of coronavirus cases reaches 20,750 with 418 new cases. That toll climbs to 58. NCP leadership fails to make a headway of the inter-party dispute. Senior leader Nepal's faction says consensus unlikely without the involvement of party committee. Indian drug maker Wockhardt Limited to supply millions of doses of multiple COVID-19 vaccines, including the one by AstraZeneca and Oxford University. And political interference and disputes within officials of Nepal Boxing Association dampens the standards of boxing in Nepal. The number of coronavirus cases has reached 20,750 with the addition of 418 new cases yesterday, the highest since the government lifted the nationwide lockdown on 22nd of July. Meanwhile, the death toll has reached 58 as one more individual has succumbed to the virus yesterday. A 77-year-old man from Biratnagar died while undergoing treatment at the isolation ward of Koshi Hospital. He was admitted at the hospital yesterday morning after having difficulty in breathing. Meanwhile, the Kathmandu Valley reported 51 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, which included 43 cases in Kathmandu district, 5 in Bhaktapur and 3 in Lalitpur. According to the Health Ministry, Parsa reported the highest 71 cases yesterday, followed by Kailali and 67 cases, Morang with 46, Mahottari with 31, Thanusha with 30 and Kanchanpur with 16. The Attorney General for Province 1 has also contracted the virus. There are 5,732 active coronavirus cases in the country at the moment. This includes 290 cases in Province 1, 2,357 in Province 2, 651 in Bagmati Province, 272 in Gandaki Province, 315 in Province 5, 298 in Karnali Province and 1,549 in Sudur Pashchim Province. 358 infected individuals were discharged yesterday from various hospitals and isolation centers after full recovery. With this, the total number of recoveries in the country has reached 14,961. The number of coronavirus cases has alarmingly increased after the lockdown was lifted on 22nd of July, while the highest number of 418 cases within a month was registered yesterday. The government, meanwhile, is engaged in amending testing guidelines. We have more in this report.
According to the Health Ministry, 418 new cases of COVID-19 were detected out of the total 7,637 samples tested in the past 24 hours, which is 5.5%. This is the highest number of cases on a single day within a month. The government, meanwhile, had lifted the lockdown on 22nd of July, saying the infection rate had gradually decreased. Since then, cities including Birganj and Biratnagar witnessed cases spreading at the community level. Likewise, frontline officials, including health workers and security personnel, have also been infected by the virus in recent time. The local administration has reimposed the lockdown in Biratnagar, while local administrations of other cities, including Birganj, Janakpur and Rajbiraz, have issued prohibitory orders. The faulty decision of the Health Ministry to test individuals having symptoms has attributed in the surge in COVID-19 cases in recent days. The number of cases in the country has increased with the increase in tests since the lockdown was lifted. The ministry amended the testing guidelines for the third time as the number of cases with symptoms and without travel history increased. According to the amended guidelines, it is mandatory to test swab samples of those who have returned from abroad and allow them to return home only after receiving the test results. Likewise, the Health Ministry has provisioned to test people who have come into contact with infected individuals, those who are undergoing treatment at ICUs, and individuals who have travel history of traveling to worst-hit areas. RTT tests have now been stopped. The ministry has corrected its previous faults. However, it does not have clear plans to contain the spread.
The chairman duo of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Executive Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal held another meeting yesterday in a bid to settle the disputes within the party. However, both the sides once again failed to reach a consensus. Meanwhile, the ruling party's senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal has called the meeting between the two chairmen meaningless. Both the chairmen have been grasping at straws since Prime Minister Oli deferred the Standing Committee meeting unilaterally last Tuesday. It may be recalled that Executive Chairman Dahal had held and chaired the meeting called that day all by himself, despite Premier Oli pushing it back. The chairman duo held a meeting on Sunday after a gap of 6 days. The meeting was held for almost 3 hours at the presence of party senior leader Chalanath Kanal and deputy leader of the parliamentary party Subhash Nemwang. Sources said the two leaders showed some flexibility. However, the faction led by senior leader Nepal has said the meeting carries no meaning and that the ongoing dispute would be not settled unless Prime Minister Oli quits from his post. Both the chairmen held a meeting for almost 19 minutes yesterday as well, however, failed to make any headway. Sources say Premier Oli has proposed to resolve the ongoing dispute through the party's secretariat meeting. Meanwhile, Executive Chairman Dahal has remained firm on his stance of finding a solution through the ongoing Standing Committee meeting. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back. It's Gai Jatra festival today, the procession of cows mainly celebrated by the Newar community. The Festival of Cows is one of the most popular festivals in Nepal. It is said people in ancient times started worshipping Yamaraj, the god of death, on this day. However, the modern form of celebration of Gai Jatra came into existence in the medieval period of Nepal during the reign of Malla kings. The present form of Gai Jatra, with humorous acts, parody and comedy, was started by then king of Kathmandu, Pratap Malla. Traditionally, every family who had death in the family during this preceding year must participate in a procession through the streets of Kathmandu with a cow leading the procession. If a cow is unavailable, then young kids dressed as cow is considered as a substitute. However, there started tradition of leading a cow with kids in funny costumes. Gai Jatra is a festival which enables people to accept the reality of death and to prepare oneself for the life after death. The Gai Jatra tradition slowly developed into doing humorous acts, including jokes, satires and mockery. Various comedy shows, acts and dramas are organized in different places, including televisions and radios. Special edition of newspapers are also published on this day with different cartoons and comedy articles. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the devotees gathered at Gosai Sthan in Kavri on the occasion of Janai Purnima, what can every individual do to protect themselves from the coronavirus pandemic? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
भीडभाडमा अलि सुरक्षित रहेर हिँड्नु पर्यो अनि सार्वजनिक यातायातमा जाँदा आफू सुरक्षित रहने सैनिटाइजर प्रयोग गर्ने
मास्क लगाएर हिँड्ने सामाजिक दूरी कायम गर्ने सैनिटाइजर लगाउने भीडभाडमा धेरै नहिँड्ने अब अलिकति यसो मास्क लगाएर अलिकति वरपर बसेर अलिकति यसो दूरी कायम गरेर
भौतिक दूरी चाहिँ कायम राख्नु पर्छ अब अहिले यो महामारीमा अब मास्कको पनि प्रयोग गर्नुपर्छ तर अधिकांशले चाहिँ अब मास्कको प्रयोग गरिएको पाइदैन
मास्क प्रयोग गर्नु पर्यो भिडभाडबाट अलि टाढा रहनु पर्यो सामाजिक दूरी कायम गर्नु पर्यो
जनसमुदायसँग घुलमिल भएर आउनु हुने घरको व्यक्तिहरूले बाथरुममा गएर पहिला सरसफाई गरेर आएर अनि मात्रै बालबच्चा घर परिवारसँग घुलमिल हुनु पर्यो
सामाजिक दूरी अपनाएर अब सरकारले तोकेको मापदण्ड अनुसार मास्क लगाई भिडभाड नगरिकन आफ्नो अब यसो जात्रा धर्ममा चाहिँ आफ्नो सुरक्षा अपनाई
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what should be done to control the risk of coronavirus spread? The options are option A, reimpose nationwide lockdown, option B, lockdown in selective risk areas, and option C, citizens must be self-aware. The voting for the question is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And time now for the sports update. Boxing was a sport that brought many medals for the country from various international events some time back. However, Nepal has struggled to bag medals even in the South Asian Games. The standards of boxing in Nepal has been declining, and sports enthusiasts attribute the rising political influence in the Nepal Boxing Association and internal disputes as the reasons. We have more in this report.
Nepal Boxing Association Secretary General Sabin Bhattacharya last Saturday accused association member Deepak Maharjan of manhandling him and expressed his strong objection of the incident by issuing a statement. Bhattacharya stated that he was targeted after questioning association president Ram Awale of financial irregularities. The chaos seen in Nepal Boxing Association can be assessed from this incident. This was not the first dispute seen in the association's working committee. Dispute also arose in the previous working committee between then Association President Rajiv Shrestha and then Association Secretary General Deepak Gurung regarding financial irregularities as well. The current working committee also spends most of its time entangled in disputes. The protesting side has accused Association President Awale of taking decisions on his own, failing to exhibit financial transparency, establishing the association in an unauthorized manner, calling meetings when desired, among other issues. Meanwhile, Association President Awale has accused Association Secretary General Bhattacharya of being encouraged by an external force to protest against him.
विरोध गर्ने बित्तिकै उहाँलाई के लाग्छ भने यो चाहिँ मेरो विरोधी हो भनेर उहाँले यसो छुट्टो जाँदा छुट्टै एउटा संगठन बिस्तारै ग्रुप बन्दै गएको हो। उहाँले नै ग्रुपिजम गर्न स्टार्ट गर्नुभयो। उहाँको जसले जे कुरा भने नि ओके भन्नेहरूलाई चाहिँ उहाँले मेरो नजिकको मान्छे सम्झिने।
यसमा जुन अहिले महासचिव लाग्नुभयो यो बक्सिङ समग्र विकासको लागि देखिरहेको छैन। जुन यहाँले सोध्नुभयो म त्यसको उत्तर दिनुपर्छ। यो कसैले सञ्चालित भएको अवस्थामा आएको यो इन्भाइरोमेन्ट छ।
The 4-year term of the Nepal Boxing Association has already ended on 4th of June this year. However, the general meeting of the association has not been able to take place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The chaos seen in the association has affected boxing activities and lowered the level of Nepal's performance in international tournaments.
And those were our latest headlines. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.